Hello, welcome to Horrible Horrors. I'm your host, Zac Romero. Now, today we're going to do things just a little bit different. Instead of the normal 4.5 minutes of whining that I typically do about either a no-budget flop that no one's ever heard of or a big-budget mainstream failure that everybody knows about, instead we're going to be doing a little bit of a character study. Now, of course, when I say character study, what I really mean, we're going to grovel at the altar of one of the most underrated action actors in the history of cinema. Of course, I'm referring to the messiah of meatheads, the czar of Zubas, the guru of gains himself, Reb Brown. Yes, the man who's played both a live-action Captain America and swept a grandma daughter off her feet in film and in real life. Reb Brown is the quintessential action star that we all need in our lives. So how do we accurately examine such a man-god of film? Well, we're going to be looking at both films in the Cage cinema franchise. The original Cage was released in 1989 and starts by dropping our asses right in the Vietnam War. There we find a barely surviving Commander Brown, Lieutenant Lou Ferrigno, and a band of howling who gives a shit. Let's just focus on these two. I'm not kidding, by the way. This film starts and we have no clue what the fuck is going on or who anyone is other than our two muscly leads. So, of course, Reb and Lou are trying to get out of this thing faster than the audience at the time and hop on the first helicopter out of there. But as fate would have it, a bullet grazes Lou Ferrigno's head and he loses precious brain juice? But the power of their friendship doesn't allow Lou or Reb to let go. One kinship recovery montage later, and Reb and Lou are closer than brothers, with Reb looking after the now mentally limited Lou Ferrigno as they both work to keep Reb's bar free of riffraff. Meanwhile, we meet Lucky and Mario, two stereotypical mobsters who apparently owe everybody money and are trying to get rich quick by betting on an underground fight club. Problem is, they need to find themselves a decent fighter to take down the current champ. Randomly, they come across Mr. Ferrigno at the bar and decide he's exactly what they've been looking for. However, caretaker Reb Brown puts the kibosh on that plan right away. So after some intense negotiations,
I don't like your fucking attitude. Well, tough shit. You take the
the plan for Lucky and Mario is to hire this equally stereotypical street gang to burn down Reb's bar to force their hand. But oops! The lovable mother figure slash barmaid was still inside, and news of her extra crispy death hits the boys pretty hard.
Oh, baby died.
This is called acting, you motherfucker. So the two Goombas eventually sneak Lou off and he's gonna fight for them to officially complete their pyramid scheme made of punches. Meanwhile, Reb goes to the local police to start a search party for his buddy. However, when the police chief decides to not give a shit, there's only one thing left for our hero to do.
The whole world up.
I'm looking for an asshole with a devil tattooed on his arm.
I don't know, man.
Yes!
You ain't gonna shoot a lady, are you, dickhead?
Yes! Okay, I didn't think I'd actually be saying this about this film, but I'm actually rooting against Reb Brown fighting Lou Ferrigno here, because I'll be honest, if it means that I get to see 65 minutes of Reb Brown doing his best Dirty Harry impression and calling everybody asshole, I hope he never finds him. So, Lou is in his first Cage fight, and he has no clue what's going on because he's a giant special needs case and they don't care, and who is this guy? And I hate to say it because it's so cliche, but finally after enough time getting his ass beat, Hulk smash! Meanwhile, Reb finds the leader of the generic ethnic gang and finally finds out where his best buddy is, but not without some hardcore Punisher-style poetic justice.
Shoot me!
So the Hulk wins his fight, Lucky and Mario get their money, everybody's happy. Except for the quiet Asian businessman who runs Chinatown Fight Club. In fact, now Lou has to fight another battle in the cage, and he only has 30 minutes to recoup. And Lucky's mob bigwig comes in with his goons and wants in on it. And Reb is somehow captured in the same establishment already. So we have our second surprisingly heartfelt moment of the film. This time between hired mob goon Mario and Lou Ferrigno after his first fight, and Mario's got to break the news that Lou's got to go fight again.
I like you, Billy. And I hope you like me. Yeah, I do. And I hope you help my friends as I can't. But I thought you didn't want me to fight anymore, Mario. Billy, I don't want you to fight in the cage. But it's got to be done.
And then we jump into that next fight. Things are getting pretty damn intense. And then we have the ultimate turning point. And for those of you keeping score at home, I'll go ahead and do the quick math for you. So let's see, we got Muscle Guy, Lou Ferrigno, disregarding sportsmanship, fighting dirty. Times that by the third act of the film, divided by several punches to the temple, and yep, carry the 6, there it is, and he done goofed. So Lou wins, but is practically dead himself. Reb breaks out of the basement, and now we have to figure out who's going to fight the next battle, because that's suddenly the kind of movie we're in, and Boss Man can just make up rules as he goes along. So now we've got Reb fighting, who surprisingly enough flips the script and hardly struggles with his fight at all. So Reb wins, Lucky wants his money, the deal goes bad for some reason, the director realized he only had 10 minutes left to film, so everyone starts shooting each other, and Ferrigno scoops up the Boss Man and crushes his goddamn spine. And so we end the first film with Reb and Lou reunited, and rebuilding the bar with the ill-gotten prize money. But what about these other two characters shown here? Well, neither one of them have more than a paragraph's worth of dialogue in the whole movie, so who f***ing cares? Basically, it's an amazingly meaty film with some surprisingly heartfelt moments. But for a film called Cage, it certainly takes its sweet-ass time actually getting to cage fighting. But that's not even my biggest problem with the first movie. How do you have Danny Trejo in your film and not have him beat somebody's ass? What wasted potential? So despite the fact that you really couldn't draw up a more neatly packaged happy ending if you tried, 5 years later we got hit in the dick with Cage 2.